up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is tournament time. For the next 2 days, we are going to be competing in the East Coast Pro Tour's Player Championship at the golf club Blainvillier. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you might remember this is where I did my Canadian Open regional qualifier. They have two courses. Regional qualifier, we played the Royal course. The next 2 days, we were on the Heritage course. So, similar golf course, say likely a little tougher than the other one. Today we are going to have Roxanne on the camera. Roxanne, say hi. And we're going to have Ben on the bag.
Hello. It's Ben.
Oh my god. Now Ben's not in the car. Don't be fooled. Anyways, we're just about to arrive at the golf course. I'm going to start getting warmed up. Ben should show up shortly. And then we'll get out there, see what we can do.
Alright, so as previously mentioned, we are playing on the Heritage course at Le Blainvillier. This is a par 72, coming in at 6,880 yards. Now, the last tournament vlog that you guys will have seen was my Monday qualifier for the PGA Tour America's Bromo Open. Now, we finished that one at even par. We didn't get through, but there was a lot to like. And other than a couple of bad breaks on the back nine, really put together a very solid round of golf, which was the first one I'd put together in a little while in a tournament. So that was nice. And since then, I've been playing some good golf. Really, the only thing I've been focusing on is my alignment. And coming into this, I had really done some good work. I felt really good. And then for some reason this morning, just couldn't quite get my feel back for the alignment. I also just felt a little weird mentally and physically. Nothing crazy, but just didn't feel on top of my game. Did not feel like I was at 100%.
Ceci est le départ de 10h10 pour le championnat des joueurs ECPT présenté par l'Académie de hockey Viking. Premier sur le départ de Montréal, Québec, champion de la série provinciale numéro 1, James Cullen Davis.
And here we go. The first hole is a 402-yard par 4 that doglegs left around a body of water. I'm hitting hybrid, quite an aggressive play to be honest. Didn't realize quite how aggressive that was going to be. It was left side of the fairway. We're in good shape. We have 120 yards into a front right flag. I'm hitting like a 3/4 50 degree. Felt like a pretty decent swing, just caught it a little thin. Didn't quite catch it, so came up just short of the front edge and spun back down that hill. Not the worst leave. Going beyond that flag would have left me a fairly quick putt back down the hill. We are left with this attempt from about 5 yards short of the green. I decide that putter is my best option here. Roll it up the hill, leave it just a little bit short, but all in all, a pretty solid effort. I will go ahead and mark it, wait for my turn to play, and then tap in for an opening par. So, solid start. The second hole is a 554-yard par 5 that dogleg slightly left. Now, unfortunate swing here. Pulled this one down the left-hand side. Since I've been working on my alignment, I've been hitting kind of more of a bit of a cut and haven't really been hitting them left. So it was a bit surprising, but I'm not really in trouble. I still have about 250 in, and I don't have an angle. So I'm just hitting a little 9-iron up around the trees, playing it up to a good spot in the fairway, giving myself a wedge in. So 107 yards in for my third shot. I'm hitting sand wedge, again mishit it. Again a little thin. This one was pulled left, landed about pin high, and just jumped off the back left of the green. So not a very good start to the day with my wedge game. You can see me kind of checking my alignment, checking the path of, well, what very little divot there was, honestly. So just off the back left of the green, I've got my lob wedge out. Bit of a funky lie, so just had to kind of chop at it a little bit, but came out okay. Good pace, actually gave it a pretty good look. Went just past the hole on the left side. Now it's going to allow me to tap in for my par, but it's a par 5. I want to give myself some birdie looks. The third hole is another par 4. It's like a mini version of the first hole. Dog legs left around water. This one is 350 yards. I'm just hitting 4-iron down the left center of the fairway. Give myself a wedge into the green. 120 yards in here. I'm going with a full sand wedge. I'm going to give this a nice rip. Hit this good. Actually took a divot. That was nice. Came up a little right and a little short. Just kind of spun back off the green. But felt like it was a good swing. So I've got this birdie look here from the fringe. It's going uphill. It should turn a little bit left as it gets to the top. Pins up on this kind of little plateau there. Pretty good effort here. Good pace. Just never really took the left break that Ben and I were expecting. All in all, though, outside chance at birdie. Left myself a very makeable par putt, so we are not going to complain. Tap in for the par and move on. The fourth hole is a par 3 playing 198 yards today. I'm hitting a full 7-iron. Should be a really good number for this club. Good swing. Felt like I hit it good. It came up short left. So couldn't really quite figure that out. That's 2 shots in a row that I feel like I've hit really well and came up short of my distance. And it was short left of the green. Lob wedge out. Chipping up. Good touch here. Good feel. Hard to tell on that angle. I did push that quite significantly, so it left me a bit of a longer putt than I would have liked. All in all, though, pretty good shot. Gives me about 3 feet here for my par. We will make that and move on to the 5th hole. 5 is a 420-yard par 4. The dog legs right. Hit a good drive here. Solid contact, went just a little bit left of my line, but by no means a miss. Just down the left center of the fairway. Puts me in a good spot to attack this green. 137 yards in to a back left flag. Now, Ben talked me into playing this a little longer than I was planning. He talked me into playing this about 144 with pitching wedge, and it's a good thing he did, because I was thinking more around 140, and it just seemed like the ball wasn't really traveling for some reason. So good shot there, pin high, left me about 18 feet. Now the greens at the Blainvillier were slower than they normally are, and I'd noticed this the day before in the practice round, but I am so used to them being lightning quick. Like that putt that I just had usually is so fast, and I just could not trust myself to hit it as hard as I needed to. The 6th hole is a 403-yard par 4 that dog legs right around water. I'm hitting hybrid off the tee. You can see not the best contact. Right hand comes off the club. Worked out okay. Oh, wildlife segment coming early this week. We have some geese and whatever the heck that bird is on the right. If you know, let me know in the comments. I do not recognize that. 127 yards in for my second shot to a front flag. Going full sand wedge out of the rough. Hoping to catch just a little bit of a flyer. Good shot, just past the flag, slightly right of it. A fairly good proximity, left me just outside of 10 feet for my birdie. This is slightly downhill, turning to the left, had this thing dead on line, and it just pumped the brakes on the front edge. So, again, struggling with the pace, expecting them to be faster. Tap in for my par. Definitely feel like that was a missed opportunity. 7 is a par 3 playing 180 yards. Pins kind of middle right side of the green. I hit a full 8-iron just right of the flag, just short of it. Good swing, good contact. Leaves me an uphill look at birdie that is going to turn from left to right. Felt like I put a good stroke on this. Definitely hit my line, but also left it well short. it's pretty evident that I am really struggling with the pace. So about 2.5 feet here to clean up for my par. Now this one I did hit firmer, and I hit it so firm that it didn't take the break, and it lipped out on the high side. That is a 3-putt bogey to put us at 1 over par. The 8th hole is a par 5, 546 yards. Interesting hole. We'll get to that in a second, but this drive I lost it to the right. Really not my best swing, just left the face wide open. See me trying to get Ben to throw me a ball so I can hit a provisional. I will go ahead and hit a provisional, even though I'm pretty sure we'll find the first one. Now, not a great strike there, just hit it high on the face. But it is in play down the right side of the fairway, so at least I have that to fall back on. But we do find my first one. Really no options. I have to come out straight sideways. I want to try and keep this on the right side of the fairway. We'll see why in a second. Unfortunately, it caught the cart path and ended up going kind of more left side of the fairway. Now there is that tree that you see right in the middle of the fairway. So the flag is just right of it, front right side of the green. I have 231 yards in here. I'm hitting 4-iron and I'm trying to draw it around the tree. Unfortunately, I hit my start line. I got the height. I got it up over that branch. It just never drew on me. So it finished just kind of a little short right of the green here. So bit of a touchy shot here. Not a great lie. Wasn't really sure how this was going to come out. Unfortunately, it just came out a little hot. So I've got a par look, but it's definitely an outside look. Downhill putt. Normally deathly fast. And I just got super scared of it. You know, again, that's a few holes in a row where I've just struggled with the pace. Just cannot get it into my skull that they are slower than I'm used to them being. And we can see a very visual frustration that I'm experiencing at this point. I feel like tee to green really hasn't been that bad. On the greens, it's just starting to kill me a little bit. Trying to clean up here for my bogey. Again, high side lip out. So we have 3-putt bogeyed the 7th hole, par 3, and we have 3-putt double bogeyed the par 5, 8th hole to put us at 5 over through 8. So 9's a par 4 that usually plays 420. They had us playing it at 350. So I'm just hitting 4-iron off the tee here. It does get very narrow the further up you get towards the green. So 4-iron into the fairway, give myself a wedge in, have 109 yards into this very middle flag, ball a little below my feet. So expecting it to cut in just a bit. Small little controlled sand wedge there. Good action, good move, I like it. Good distance control, finished just a little left of the flag, but I've given myself a birdie look. So about 15 feet here for birdie, turning from my left to right, and you know what happens when you get it to the hole? There's a chance it might go in. So we convert the birdie, that gets us back to 2 over. That's good for momentum. On to the 10th hole, which is a 357-yard par 4, hitting hybrid, which is usually super reliable for me. And I literally hit a duck hook with my hybrid. It's the first time I've done it with that club. Very scary shot, not comfortable at all. Leaves me in a pretty precarious situation. I'm on the side of this hill. I have trees in my way. If there's any way that I want to get this onto the surface, I have to hit a draw, but of course with the ball being below my feet, that becomes very difficult. So Ben and I are trying to figure out what is our highest percentage play here, and we figure just hitting a pitching wedge, even though we're 173 yards out, will get us up over the branches. If it jumps, it'll get up onto the green. If it doesn't, we'll leave it just short, and then we will deal with that then, get it up and down. So we go with the pitching wedge. Needs a lot of commitment here. You can see now the angle. Very uncomfortable shot. Good swing. On my line, it did not turn over. That's fine though. The job number 1 was to get it up over those branches. I did that and left it just short of the green. Now, long look here for birdie. And a ton of break in it. There was a huge slope that I had to putt across. Really good pace on that one. Very happy with that. That is a pretty easy par putt considering where we were off the tee. The 11th hole is a 506-yard par 5 that dog legs left. Now this is a fun one because you can take driver right up over the corner on the left there and cut a bit of the distance, hit a really nice drive there to the right side of the fairway. That left me 197 yards. I'm hitting 5 iron, a little back into the wind, and again, the clubs have not been going as far as they normally do. So if you take a little extra club, get it back there. It's on the green. It was a good shot. It was on line, but it's still well short. You'll see this leaves me a considerably long eagle look here. So downhill all the way, turning to the left. Not a bad putt, but definitely still struggling with the pace on these greens. I will go ahead and clean up the birdie look. That gets us back to 1 over par. Good rally after some early struggles. The 12th hole is a par 3, playing 210 yards today. Again, hitting 5 iron. Not a great swing here. Hit it a little fat, had the blade a little bit open, so left it a little short right on the fringe. And then out of nowhere, it starts pouring with rain. I've got this really long birdie look from the fringe going up over this slope. This thing is going to turn fairly hard from right to left. Really good effort, really good pace control on that one. That is a fairly easy birdie considering where I was off the tee. And we will definitely take that at this point, especially considering the turn and the weather conditions. 13 is a 385-yard par 4. The dogleg slightly left. I'm hitting 3-wood. Just gets pretty narrow where I would hit driver. This is going to give me a wedge in anyway, so really nothing lost. Good swing there. Puts me in the left side of the fairway. 127 yards in here. I'm hitting gap wedge. Again, we're trying to take some extra club because we are just having a very hard time getting pin high today. Again, we come up short. Again, good strike on a good line. Landed on the green, just spun back onto the fringe. So we're trying. Uphill birdie look. This should turn just a little to the right. Good roll, good pace, got it past the hole. Just pulled it a little bit, so it just missed a little bit on the high side. But right now I'm just happy to get a putt past the hole, because that has been a struggle, as you guys have seen. 14 is a 420-yard par 4 that doglegs to the right. This is a fun one now that I'm starting to hit some cuts, because this used to be a nightmare when I only hit draws. This one just kind of aim a little down the left, rip across it, and let it fade around the corner, and I do just that. Very happy with that swing. Get it right around the corner, well down the fairway. Leaves me 137 yards to a back right flag. Again, we're going pitching wedge, trying to play a little bit more than the number. Started this just slightly left of the flag, but great distance control. Now let's just see that it rolls down that bank a little bit, gets a little closer to the hole. Leaves myself about 10 or 11 feet here for birdie. And just not a very convincing putting stroke on that. Again, scared to overhit it because of my history here and the greens being fast, but we make our par. 15, again, is another dogleg right par 4, 420 yards. Doesn't dogleg as hard as the last one. Unfortunately, I still faded this one like I did on the last one. I'm getting ready here to go hit a provisional, and one of the caddies in the group says, nope, you hit a tree and you are in the middle of the fairway. Look at that. 137 yards in, again. We are hitting a pitching wedge in here. Again, basically the same shot we hit into the last hole here. So we've got some good recent memory to rely on. Another good swing, really nice contact. Again, just pulled it a little bit. So I'm pin high, but I'm left of it, and that's a bit of a longer putt than we'd like, but it is still a quality golf shot. So can't be too upset with it, just trying to figure out the alignment. Downhill putt here, turning to the right. This was a great roll. I thought this was in the whole way, and at the last second just kind of died to the right. Went right over the right edge, finished just past the hole, so that was unfortunate. Really felt like could have got some momentum going if some putts had started to drop. It's just been one of those days. I think the look on Ben's face here sums it all up. Yep, it's just been tough. You know, hasn't been great, but it really hasn't been that bad. And if a few putts drop, that changes everything for us. So Anyways, we still got 3 holes to play, and we're going to do our damnedest to get this thing going. 16 is a par 3, 188 yards to a front flag today. I'm hitting full 7-iron. Unfortunately, this one was on a great line, but I did hit it just a hair heavy, so it does finish just short of the green. Not a terrible leave, though, considering it was a miss. Again, I'm putting this from off the green, going uphill, turning right, and at the end, turning left. And it just turned a little more left than I expected, but again, from there, we are going to take that par. Would have been really nice to have hit the 7-iron flush, because we could have given ourselves a good birdie look, but it is what it is. 17 is a 550-yard par 5. Pretty straight away. Pretty good drive here. Not my best strike. Came out a little funny, but it's down the left center of the fairway, so I'm not going to complain with that kind of miss. More wildlife. Bonus wildlife. Wild turkeys. So I've got 268 yards in here. I'm hitting hybrid again. Usually a very dependable club. Today, not a dependable club. Hit that heavy. Lands short right of the bunker. Chases up. It's not a terrible leave, but when I'm not hitting the hybrid well, things are not good in my life. So chipping from short of the green here. Got green to work with. Felt like I'd hit a great shot. Just the first bounce just kind of went a little higher than I expected instead of forward. It was on a great line. Just left myself a little more work here for birdie than I would have liked. Good roll. Just broke off the face of the earth to the left. Again, missed opportunities. Putts just not falling for us. It is raining again as well, just to make things that much more pleasant. We clean up for our par. 1 over par, going on to 18. So 18 is a 370-yard par 4. Doglegs right, and I went about 60 yards left with my 4-iron here. Just completely out of sequence on that swing. I probably should have hit a provisional there. Just really didn't think about it. Luckily, we did find my ball on the edge of the trees, and somehow I did have a bit of an angle through the trees. I did have 199 yards in from a fairly poor lie, but at least I could get something up by the green. I'm hitting 5-iron here, trying to chase it through the rain and the wind, get it somewhere on or around the putting surface. Bit of an awkward camera job there by Roxanne, but it's okay, babe. I forgive you. Ball ended up in the front bunker. Got a little bit of work here to do, well below the surface of the green. Gotta pop this up. Good execution, came out nicely. Expecting it to check, it doesn't really. Almost went in, but then went about 5 or 6 feet past, so I have got my work cut out for me with a very slick downhill putt, turning slightly to my right. I convert the par, and that is a nice finish, all things considered. Very happy to have made that putt. So that finishes the day today, round 1. 1 over par. Didn't take myself out of it. Things could have been a lot worse, but they also could have been a lot better. Just a bit of a weird day. Definitely looking to bounce back tomorrow.
All right, so off the course, signed the scorecard, sheltered from the rain here. It's not pretty, but we're kind of dry here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 1 over par, 73 finish. Pretty scrappy day. I don't know, man, I felt weird today, just generally, kind of mentally, physically. It really showed early in the round, just wasn't solid. A couple mistakes late in the front 9, but things got better. It still wasn't great, but it was an improvement. I was just said to Ben, if I play the way that I feel I played today and I'm getting out 1 over, I mean, I'm not happy to have shot 1 over, but considering how I feel I played, it could have been a lot worse.
Limited damage.
Definitely limited the damage.
Right, and then
yeah.
Now you have a strong momentum. I think tomorrow we can go very low.
That was a big par save on 18. Yeah, because I feel like we did play the back 9, not amazing, but reasonably well, and deserved to be a 2 or 3 under par, I'd say, and just putts didn't drop. So if we bogeyed 18 to play the back even, that would have kind of really killed momentum. So that was a big save, especially considering where we were off the
rain
tee.
and
the rain
under the tree.
That got ugly for
sure.
a second there. Yeah. So you know, not the day I was hoping for, but didn't take ourselves right out of the tournament. Definitely got to work that out for us tomorrow, but just go rest up. And
I think if you can hit it consistently the way you did on the back 9 for 18 holes, I think you could definitely easily could have shot, I mean, in the 60s.
Oh yeah, yeah. If that was the consistent ball striking throughout the day, for sure. Yeah.
Tomorrow is very doable.
Yeah, and I mean, I just got to get it into my skull that the greens were slow. And I was just so scared of overhitting them.
Yeah.
Usually so much faster here.
Right.
The greens kind of killed me today. Just really didn't make anything. But so yeah, that's it. Gonna see if it stops raining, get a bit of practice in, and other than that, just rest up. We'll be back out here tomorrow, trying to go low. All right, guys. So it's a new day. The sun is out. Looks drastically different to how it looked when I left here yesterday. Just pulled up to the golf course. Just kind of putting yesterday's round behind me. Just want to go out there today, give it my best on every single shot, see where things land at the end of the day.
All right, so getting warmed up for the second round, as previously mentioned, trying to put the first round behind me, trying to bounce back, put together a decent round, get myself back into this tournament. Didn't have the best warm-up this morning, unfortunately. Just still struggling with the lack of feel for my alignment that I had been dealing with the previous day. Ben trying to help me out, but I'm uncomfortable. You know, when you're uncomfortable, it's hard really to swing with any conviction, to be really committed to your swing. So just trying to work through this on the range. I mean, this is not ideal. I don't like to make warm-ups a technical session.
Oh yeah.
It really is a warm-up for a reason. You're supposed to just warm up. But things have just not been great. And I'm trying to build some confidence before heading out onto the golf course.
Et de Montréal, Quebec, James Colin Davis.
And here we go. First hole, par 4. After challenging the water with hybrid yesterday, Ben and I had decided we were best just to hit 4-iron. Just much safer shot, still going to give us a good look into the green. That 4-iron left me 164 yards to a back left flag. It's just a nice, comfortable 9-iron. Pretty good swing here. Just started it just a little left of my line. It'll kind of land on the green and spin into the fringe about pin high. Really not a bad shot, but would have preferred to have been on the green. Obviously, that's going to leave me about 25 feet from the fringe, going back uphill, and I expect this to turn to the right towards the front of the green and the water, and it actually turned left. So that left us with about 3 feet left for par here. Roll that in. Good opening par. Moving on to the par 5 second hole. So you may remember that I'd hit a pretty poor drive here a little left. Today's was even worse. Felt like a pretty good swing, but just caught it way off the toe. So this was a basically just a toe hook. And now Ben had gone forward with my bag. I'm motioning for a provisional, but apparently my ball is safe, which I couldn't really believe. And here it is on a downslope. I've got about 280 yards in. I'm just trying to lay this up with an 8-iron around the 100-yard marker. Just want to give myself a wedge in. Pretty awkward shot, as you can see from that lie, but did a good job getting that back out to the fairway and advancing it. This left me 126 yards in, hitting a little gap wedge to this front right flag, and just not committing to the swings. I'm just not carrying the club head speed through it, leaving the face a little bit open, leaving it short right. I'm pretty frustrated. I've missed a lot of green with wedges in this event so far, and yeah. I'm about 10 yards away here, just off the front edge. Chipping a little bit uphill. It's not really that difficult of a chip. I do have some green to work with. Luckily, I am chipping back into the slope, so I can be a little aggressive and kind of throw it up onto the green, let it spin and release. It's a nice touch. Would have liked to have started a little bit more online, but all things considered, having missed the drive, hit a good recovery shot, and then missed a wedge, The fact that I can go ahead and tap in for par is nice, but I really need to be giving myself birdie opportunities on par 5s. It's just not good enough. So like yesterday on the 3rd hole, I am hitting a 4-iron off the tee. Again, nice swing there, good strike, left side of the fairway, leaving myself in a good position to attack this green again. This is another little gap wedge like on the previous hole from 126 yards. Better swing here, a little more commitment. Good for distance, just to the left of the flag, but I'm giving myself a good look at birdie from there. So about 18 feet here up the hill, expecting this to turn a little bit left towards the back of the green. Just a slight overread. Didn't quite turn as much as we were expecting it to. I'll go ahead and tap in for my par. The par 3 4th hole today was playing 198 yards to a back right flag. Ben and I decided full 7-iron was the best case scenario. If I get all of it, it gets back to the flag. If I don't get all of it, it's kind of more middle of the green. It was more middle front of the green, even though I feel like I'd hit it quite well. Long putt here, approximately 45 feet, going uphill, turning slightly from right to my left. Pretty good for pace, pretty decent for line from that distance. That's going to allow me to go up and tap in for another par. The 5th hole, dogleg right par 4. Good drive here. Interesting camera work by Matt. Challenging the right side of the fairway a little bit. Get it out there nicely though. I'm going to give myself a good angle to attack this green. So from 117 yards, I am hitting a sand wedge, my 55 degree. On a good line. Again, looking back over the swing, looks like it lacks just a little bit of commitment.
Yep.
Comes up just a little short. It's not bad though. Left myself in a good spot. I've got an uphill putt for birdie from there, and I will take that. So about 14 feet here, going uphill, turning to the right, and just a much slower putt than I had expected. So really would have loved to have given that birdie look a chance. I'm going to mark so that I don't get in my playing partner's lines here. And once they've all cleaned up, I will go ahead and tap in for my par. So like the previous day, I am hitting my hybrid on the 6th hole. And I do basically the exact same thing I'd done the day before with my 2 hybrid on the 6th hole, and that was just kind of drop kick it, hit a little fat, but put it out and play. This leaves me 145 yards to a pin on the top shelf, so I'm going with basically a full pitching wedge here, slightly back into the wind, trying to get aggressive.
Yep.
Really nice shot there. Better commitment, good distance control, good direction. Gives me about a 9 or 10 foot putt here for birdie. Slight overread and definitely had too much pace on it, even if I did have the read right. So that goes about 3.5 feet past. I'll go ahead, take my time, and clean up for my par again.
Yeah, I don't kill yourself with it. Dude, it was never on one.
The par 3 7th today is playing 173 yards. That is a fairly full 8-iron because we still find the ball is just not traveling as far as it normally does for me. Pretty good shot, basically right to the middle of the green. On the safe side, gives me an uphill birdie look turning from right to left.
Curl. Stop.
Good after there, just a very slight underread. You can see that thing just kind of snapped to the left as it started losing its pace. We were expecting that, just not quite to that degree. That is another par. We are even par for the day through 7 holes. On to the par 5 8th. Now you might remember that in round 1 I blew my tee shot into the right trees and was forced to chip out. Today I hit an absolute beauty right down the right side of the fairway, which if you're going to try to give this one a go in 2, that is where you have to be. So that leaves me 261 yards to a left flag, basically right behind the tree. So I am hitting hybrid, I am trying to start it right of the tree and draw it back a little bit around the tree. Now, if you look at my alignment, I don't know where I'm trying to go because my shoulders are not aimed where they should be. Sure enough, that starts nowhere near my line. It ends up going left of the tree, which is definitely not what I was trying to do, and towards the trees out there. Now, we're not sure if that is hazard or not, so we will go ahead and play a provisional just in case it is not a hazard. So Ben's going to grab me a ball. I'm going to hit a 9-iron, trying to lay up around the 100-yard marker. Again, trying to play it right of the tree. The alignment is just so poor that, again, it ends up going left of the tree. Now, luckily, where the first one had gone was hazard, so I was able to take a drop 2 club lengths from point of entry. This leaves me about 30 yards going up the slope here to this flag. So lob wedge, just kind of got a little handsy, hit it a little too far, pulled it to the left. You can see the frustration there. Leaves me this downhill bogey putt, par putt. And like the day before on this hole, I leave the downhill putt well short. Now, the day before, I ended up 3-putting for double. Luckily today, I'm able to convert just barely for my bogey. The 9th hole, again, I'm hitting 4-iron. I am not doing well mentally at this point. Noise from the group behind me has disturbed me. I step off, I get back into it again. I hit the 4-iron fat and left. And just not in a good space right now. This leaves me 147 yards to a back right flag from on top of this mound. That is a pitching wedge that I'm hitting, expecting it to start left and cut back towards the flag. Unfortunately, it did not cut. All in all, it was pretty good execution, but it leaves me on the back fringe with mud all over my golf ball, so I have got to try and judge the pace through the fringe, down the hill, and hope the mud doesn't affect it too much. Unfortunately, the mud just slowed it down quite a bit and leaves the ball about 4.5 to 5 feet above the hole. I will high side lip out the par putt. Luckily, I do convert on the subsequent bogey putt. That puts us 2 over on the day and 3 over par total. Making the turn onto the 10th hole, hitting a hybrid again. Not my best, but better than the day before. It is a little bit down the left again. This one's going to land in the fairway and just kind of kick a little left into the rough. Not a terrible spot, but I expect to do better with that club. 108 yards in to this back right flag. Alignment way off. Ball just kind of jumped on me. Not terrible for direction, but definitely a little long. Did get a little lucky though. We really thought that this had gone well past the green. Once we get up there, we realized that it's actually just on the back fringe, so not that bad of a result, but again, I need to be doing better from 108 yards. So birdie putt from the fringe, right to left turn, lots of turn. I'll take the effort. Again, from that distance, you're not going to expect to make many. Clean up for my par and move on to the 11th hole. Again on 11, the par 5, hitting driver up over the corner. Really good swing there. Great ball flight. This one unfortunately will fade on me just a hair, as we will see it come down there and kick a little right. So unfortunately, that is going to finish in the first cut of the rough. 209 yards in, a little into wind, so I am hitting 5-iron. Great looking shot. Felt like I'd hit it really good. All over the flag stick. Short.
Oh, wow.
Like so many shots over the last 2 days. Just a little bit short. So that's been frustrating. Leaves me a fairly simple chip, though, from in front of the green. Now it's kind of into the grain, sticky grass. Not the most comfortable shot, and I just kind of dig the edge in a little bit. Not the effort I'm looking for from there. gives me much more work for birdie than I'm looking for. So about 8 feet here for my birdie. Luckily, I will roll that in. That gets us back to 1 over on the day and 2 over total for the tournament. The par 3 12th was playing 201 yards today. This is a 6-iron, a little bit back into the wind. Pin is kind of middle left here. This kind of starts at the middle of the green and just kind of hangs there. So not a bad shot. Obviously not the best proximity, but I am 200 yards away. So this is a putt with a ton of movement from right to left. And I'm having some commitment issues even with the putter now. Leave this well short and leave myself quite a bit of work to make my 2-putt par here. So really not making things easy on myself at the moment. Got this 8-footer for my par. Luckily, I'm able to clean that up. No damage done there. On to 13, where like the day before, I am hitting 3-wood. We'll hit this one down the right side of the fairway. Another good swing there, good strike, nice solid ball flight. Just put the ball out in play, give myself a wedge into the green. This is going to leave me 124 yards in, so we are hitting a small gap wedge. And again, you can hear the contact is just not as solid as it needs to be. It's on a good line, but again, like the theme, just short. So it doesn't matter how good the line is, if I'm not hitting it pin high or to the number I'm looking for, my proximity is not going to be that good. So about 19 feet here for birdie. Turning from right to left. And as I said there to Ben, we had the line. I just needed to hit it harder. So another par. They'd moved the tee box up on 14 a little bit today. I still have to carve it around the corner. Little left to right movement here. Like the day before, able to pull that off. That is a shot that has become very dependable for me recently, and I've really been enjoying being able to hit that cut. This leaves us 99 yards to a front left flag. I'm going with a small 55 degree.
Be money.
Again, great line.
Go.
Short.
Sit.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to be positive. I'm saying, okay, uphill putt, but from 99 yards, that is just not good enough. So, uphill putt. We expect this to turn from right to left. It doesn't. If anything, early it looked like that went to the right. So, frustrated. Very frustrated. Really hard to get anything going here. Another par, 2 over total, 1 over on the day. Now, if you remember, after hitting the cut on 14 the previous day, I proceeded to cut my ball on 15 as well. And, well, hey, the exact same thing happened here. So, pretty frustrated. Yep. Pull out a provisional. I'll go ahead and hit this one well down the left side of the fairway. Nice swing there. Proud of the way I was able to compose myself and commit to that one. Now we do find the first. It is fine. I have 130 yards in and no trees in my way. Luckily, that is a gap wedge. Felt like a really good swing there. Finally hit a wedge to good proximity from the hole. Needed that. That felt good. Got about 5 feet here for my birdie. And we underread it. We're done. But we were not expecting that to break very much. And as I said there, it ended up breaking a ton. So, missed opportunity. Not what I needed when I'm trying to make a late charge here. The par 3 16th was playing 200 yards, and I am just all over the place mentally now, and sequencing is terrible, and my hands get stuck behind me, and I literally miss this 6-iron 30 yards to the left. I'm not even sure it's in play. Luckily, it is in play now. I don't know if anybody has ever been on this part of the golf course before, but here I am. So, chipping back up onto the green, I kind of fly it up there, let it release down past the hole. It was going to be very hard to get anything close from there. I just wanted to give myself an uphill par look, which I do. Good putt here, expecting it to just die a little left. It does not. It's having a very hard time scoring. The putter has gone stone cold, And if you're not striking the ball very well and you're not making putts, it's really hard to put together any kind of score. Par 5 17th. I'm still trying to make a push here. I want to make some birdies. Unfortunately, I do push this one a little bit out to the right. Just praying that it won't hit the cart path. Luckily, it lands just on the other side of it. If that hits the cart path, the ball's as good as gone. So, kind of lucky, but it doesn't leave me with the easiest shot here. I do not have much of an angle. The ball's on a little bit of an upslope and in the rough. I've got to hit a cut. Hitting a cut off an upslope and out of the rough, harder to put spin on it. Not the easiest shot, but I'm pulling out an 8-iron here and just committing to leaving the face open and cutting across the ball. I pull it off quite well. Pretty happy with that shot. I did not have a large area to aim at there, just that little bit of fairway out there that you see, and that's exactly where I put the ball. So good shot given the circumstances. It's left me 100 yards in. I'm going with a fairly full lob wedge, which should be more than enough club, but again, watching this back, I know that I'm not accelerating through the shot. So
Yep.
looks great on camera. Looks like a very, very nice approach shot from that angle. Once we get up to the green, that is not the proximity we're looking for. Again, well short. Now, we'd seen somebody putt on this line and it turned left. Somehow this one didn't turn left until it got past the hole. So again, the frustration is just kind of boiling over here. It has been a difficult 2 days for us. That's a par. Moving on to the 18th hole. Now, all I'm looking to do here is hit a better tee shot than the day before. Now, was it great? No, the contact wasn't amazing, but it is in the fairway. And after missing it about 50 yards left yesterday, we'll take that. Got 145 yards in here, back into the wind a little bit. This is a full pitching wedge. That's a more committed swing. Very happy with the strike there. It's all over the flagstick, and I stick it to about 4 feet. So, a little late, but happy that I'm able to put together some good shots near the end. We've got this for birdie to finish the tournament, and it broke off the planet. So that hurt. Even if in the grand scheme of things it doesn't change anything for this tournament, it was just kind of another slap in the face from this golf course.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, exactly. Oh yeah, everybody's going to Victor?
Alright, so recapping the last 2 days at Blainvillier. You guys might have seen in one of my recent videos where I caddied for my friend Sam that at the end of it I gave a very brutal but fair assessment of what I'd seen in his game, and I really need to do the same with myself. At the moment, my game is just not good enough. And unfortunately, this applies to pretty much every aspect of my game. So off the tee, I have been significantly better than I was earlier this year, but there's still room for improvement. My approach game, I honestly can't remember the last time I struggled this much hitting shots in the greens. My dispersion isn't good, my distance control isn't good, and there seems to be these, at times, just misses that are wildly offline. Now, those shots are going to lead to more situations where I'm likely to make bogey, sometimes worse, but because my dispersion is so bad, it means that my proximity to the hole is suffering, which makes it much harder to make birdies. I mean, I made 3 birdies over 2 days. That's just never going to get it done. My short game has been, yes, we'll call it passable, but I'm not really happy with it either. Just the ball's just not really coming out of the window that I'm looking for as consistently as I'd like. I'm not necessarily hitting my landing spots, and putting has been extremely frustrating recently because whenever I do my putting drills, let's say like a gate drill or a pace drill, I'm starting the ball on line. I did struggle with pace the last couple of days because of, the PTSD of how fast those greens typically are, but generally speaking, my pace control has been quite good, but the putter has just been stone cold, just not quite matching up my line with the pace that I need to hit to make putts. So if you're average off the tee and poor hitting shots into the greens and just okay around the greens and not making any putts, I mean, you're never going to score. So yeah, it was a very frustrating 2 days, especially considering going into it, I felt really good. My game had been quite good leading up to the event, and I really felt like I was finally going to put myself back into contention to win an event. So to play that way just kind of, it took me a bit by surprise. It's more of the same, unfortunately. Just things aren't clicking, and I've got to make some changes. I've got to put the work in. I've got to get things back on track. There's nobody else to blame but me in this situation. So a lot of work has to be done, but it's odd at the same time. I really don't feel like good golf is far. I don't think I'm that far away from it. On the mental side of the game, I mean, I went into this tournament with a good mentality, but it's really frustrating to try and play professional golf the way I've been playing these last, I guess it's about 2 months. It's hard to stay composed, and I haven't always been the best at maintaining composure. So again, that's something that I'm going to have to be better at, but I'm also hoping that as the technical side of my game improves, that I'm not going to be put in these kind of frustrating situations time after time. But if ever I am in those situations, I have to be able to deal with it. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Roxanne and Matt for being behind the camera the last 2 days, for Ben for being on the bag the last 2 days. It was really, really great having him out there for the support. And I realize this might not be the best time to bring it up after you guys have just witnessed me play the golf that I played over the last couple of days, but I am still trying to raise money to get down to the qualifying tournaments for the PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, and PGA Tour Americas this fall. There is a GoFundMe up and running. You can find the link in the description below. You know, we're at about 1,400 followers when this goes live. The idea is that if everybody can just pitch in like 10 bucks, that'll get me well on my way to getting into this qualifier. It is a very expensive endeavor. The entry fee alone is likely to be about $5,500 US. So when I registered last year, that was 7,500 Canadian. And then you've got the additional expenses of travel and accommodations and food and all that. So it adds up fairly quickly. So if you're in a position where you could donate, I would greatly appreciate it and forever be thankful for it. I am going to get things turned around. As I mentioned, it's not far, and I'm going to do everything I can do to get back on track as soon as possible. It's been a rough few months, but I do believe in myself. I do believe in my ability. Golf is just like this sometimes. There's peaks and there's valleys, and right now I'm just in a valley, but I know I'm gonna come out of this better than I have ever been. And I'm gonna learn from this, and it's gonna make me stronger. Anyways guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. I really appreciate you all supporting the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me grow this channel a great deal. Also, if you could please like the video and leave a comment, that will help YouTube push this out to other like-minded individuals who would enjoy this kind of content, and again, help me grow the channel. The more the channel grows, the longer I can continue bringing you guys this kind of content, and the better the production quality will be. Again, I appreciate all of the support. I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Cheers.